Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's your girl, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about Season 9, Episode 1 of The Walking Dead. This episode, guys, was just... holy shit! What the actual... oh, guys, this episode moved way too fast, but in all the greatest ways, you know? I mean, what a way to kick off what I believe is going to be a phenomenal season. That was weird. Just whoa, from starting off with everyone going to I have hiccups now. From everyone going to the Capitol building, which I believe it was supposed to be the actual Capitol building in Washington or such. I may be wrong, but and getting all the seeds and the farming equipment there, that was pretty smart. That was a very smart move, and I was honestly surprised to see that Anne is still there. I have to go back and see what happened between her and Rick, especially after that last encounter. But I wouldn't put it past Rick to invite her back to the community, especially after everything that happened. But I don't know. It just surprised me to see her there so soon, right? And just. This whole episode moved really fast, guys. It surprised the shit out of me. One of the things I was a little disappointed in is that we didn't start off with a new character, which I'm not going to go too deeply into that. Which, I mean, if most of you follow the comics and the TV show at the same time, you know who I'm talking about. But for the rest of you that don't know, I mean, obviously we are going to get new characters throughout this season, especially if you've been keeping up with the trailers and the set photos. I haven't kept up with that only because I want to be surprised when I see the show. And yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten around to really thinking if I want to film myself while I'm watching it, or if I know how to do that well enough yet. But maybe down the line you'll see some of that, but I wanted to be surprised when I watched the season myself, but where we are now is called A New Beginning, especially in the story arc of this of the comics. And this would start around issue 127, especially after All Out War, which is all the way up here and continues off that way. I have to do a video on my wall, and I promise you guys I will. But this season starts off on this issue. And I know you guys are probably confused by the character on the issue, but, hopefully we will see her during the season, or him. They could have changed it up like they did with the Monroes. But with issue 127, and of course there's gonna be spoilers in this video. So if you guys didn't see the episode yet, or if you guys haven't caught up yet, it's gonna be spoilers before I go way into everything, so go ahead and click out if you guys haven't seen it, but make sure to drop a like at least, please. Anyway, from excuse me, from Gregory taking advantage of these mourning parents, these parents that are obviously in pain, in order to throw them against Maggie, or to pin them against Maggie, and ultimately leading to her attempted assassination, leading up to Gregory finally getting killed. All this happened within a span of almost, I want to say 14 issues. From issue 127 up to, wrong one, issue 141. This one, where Gregory dies. And fun fact about this issue, actually, this is actually my second issue of The Walking Dead, where I actually get a letter printed in the letters hacks. My first, well, no, actually, this is my first one. This is my first one, and then this, move, okay, this one is my second one, and then, of course, this one is my third one, and then my fourth one is, god damn it, that one, it is, anyway, but it just moved so fast for one episode, you know. We, the way it would have happened in the comic series is that Carl and Sophia are both still alive in the comics, and they're talking with each other at the hilltop. They're chilling out, you know, whatever, and they get attacked by these two idiot redneck boys, and they ambush Carl, and then Carl runs off, seemingly afraid, and then they turn on Sophia and, you know, beat the crap out of her. But then Carl comes back in with a shovel and beats the ever-living shit out of them. And so he took it a little too far, up to the point where the boys are pretty badly damaged, but Sophia took the brunt of it, to be honest. I mean, she was unconscious for a good part of the day until they could, you know, they had to figure everything out, so they had to lock up Carl, and, you know, Maggie had to figure it out. Leading up to the point where Maggie hears the story, of course, from her daughter, because she essentially adopted Sophia after Carol died, which was early on in the series. She wasn't as much of a strong character as she is in the TV show, but she takes Sophia's side against the parents and their kids, because they're like, oh, not my babies, you know, whatever. But the parents aren't very happy about this, and so they turn to Gregory after saying, like, you know, like, she's not fit to be in charge. And then Gregory's like, well, we could just kill her. And they're like, no, that's taking it too far. But after all this, they consider it and go to him for help. And the way it happens in the comics is that Gregory invites her over to, you know, talk about this, try and smooth things over, figure out what to do with the parents, and then he poisons her. Not successfully enough, because Jesus ends up walking in and kicking Gregory's ass, and Maggie's able to walk away from it unscathed and unharmed, essentially. And so Gregory automatically starts playing the victim and playing in denial, you know, like no, you're wrong, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, you know. But the thing that shocked me the most was the fact that Rick and Michonne were there for the execution, and they didn't do anything about it. Whereas in the comics, when Maggie executed Gregory, Rick wasn't the very least happy about it, which we can see about it here in this issue. And the fact that you know, Rick and Michonne saw this and didn't really do anything about it, you know, it was just to set one. It was kind of to set an example. Two, it was also to you know, take out a threat, because Gregory was a legitimate threat, because while he did have some influence on the inside of the hilltop, he also was a very powerful manipulator. You know, he could really get inside people's heads and, you know, make people feel sorry for him and bring them over to his side, you know. I mean, look how much he kept the peace when Negan was in charge. But the only time that Rick or Michonne tried, or at least Michonne tried to do something, was when the kids walked out in the middle of the execution, and Michonne tried to tell Maggie to stop to get the kids out of the way, but Rick stopped her and didn't say anything about it, And so I'm wondering what's going to happen after this episode, especially. One of the things that I wasn't very happy about was that we didn't really get to see Negan. Where he's supposed to be rotting for the rest of his life in a jail cell or something, but we didn't see him at all. We only saw him in the previews for next episode, which of course is going to be pretty intense, in general. But I feel like it would have been a lot better just to see him at least once, a glimpse of him. Excuse me. I have hiccups like crazy. But, yeah, I mean, just what a crazy episode. And especially with the fact that Daryl is in charge of the Saviors, whereas Dwight is nowhere to be seen. Which, I mean, we did see him kind of get exiled at the end of last season. But he found a note from his wife, Sherry, showing that she's alive, obviously, and, that they can possibly meet up. But, it's a lot different than how it is in the comics, because Dwight is actually in charge of the Saviors in the comics and, kind of trying to turn them around up until the point that he realizes, this isn't for him. He doesn't want to be a leader. He's not a leader. He doesn't want to be a leader. And so he leaves the Saviors in charge of someone else. And so this is kind of where Dwight's coming in, because Carol is actually thinking of taking charge instead, which says a lot, because, there's this romance going on between her and Ezekiel, especially when Ezekiel almost died at the Capitol building, and, he was saved, and Carol, gave him a big smooch on the lips, because they're the cutest thing ever. Yay to Ezekiel. But, also, how about that proposal scene? Because I was honestly hoping Carol would say yes, because she doesn't seem the type to push away from commitment or romance. I mean, she was in love with that one guy at the end of, or during last season, even though he died from the Savior's attack. But it seems like she's taking on the role of Michonne in the comic series, because in the comic series, Michonne and Ezekiel had the romance. Michonne ended up leaving the communities for a good bit just to stay busy with one of the other communities. She stayed over there for a good chunk of time, leaving Ezekiel, a little heartbroken and a little confused. Everyone was kind of getting mixed signals from them. And so, it's just, I don't know. I'm still not sure how I feel about how fast this episode went, but it covered a lot. And it's really setting up for, especially when the Whisperers come in, which will be the issues over there, huh? Well, it's going to be throughout this whole story arc, all the way across and all the way up here, of course, with the Whisperer War. But, I don't know how it's going to play out, because obviously the shows have really spun things around. But we know that the Whisperers are coming, and we know that, of course, everyone's been cast. We have Alpha coming in, Beta, and Lydia, which is Alpha's daughter. And, I just hope I don't piss off anyone for spoilers. I'm gonna put big spoiler warnings in the beginning of my videos and everything, or in the titles, at least in the descriptions, because I don't really want to edit all that much. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, guys, and I honestly don't know. I'm just excited to see where we're going from here. But with that being said, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or anything you want to debate about, throw them down in the comments, and I will chat with you about them. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.